Hi ladies, Danielle here from Ladies That Lead, Cultivating Superior Businesswomen, and I'm here with the lovely Ellen Jackson today, and she is going to share with us a little bit about her business journey, how she sort of got started, and her whole business right until the starting and until now, and share her success and her struggles and that kind of thing. So lovely to have you here, Ellen.
Lovely to be here.
Thank you. Alrighty, so we'll get started. So can you share with us a little bit about sort of what ignited your spark within to sort of start out on your own sort of business journey initially?
Well, the original journey started 14 years ago. I've been working for myself for 14 years, and the spark, I suppose, originally was just wanting to do something that wasn't readily available to me. So I'm a consultant psychologist. I do coaching psychology and workplace psychology. And when I sort of finished with regular employment, my options were either to try and find another employer who did what I wanted to do, which was kind of, quite varied. I get bored really easily, so I wanted something that provided with lots of variety. And there really wasn't anywhere. The consultancies at the time all just did training, just did coaching, just did recruitment, just did different workplace things. So the option was to either pick one area or have a go at doing what I wanted to do, which was a many and varied approach to psychology and working with people in workplaces and working with individuals from a kind of a coaching and growth and development point of view. So I decided to just do my own thing and do it for as long as I could without having to get a proper job. And that's been 14 years now I've managed to avoid getting a proper job. So it's been fantastic, and it has been very varied, and it's been very exciting and very fulfilling.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome. It's a great success, because, a lot of people, there's obviously the statistics out there that, society says, oh, I don't even know what the statistic is, 8 out of 10 businesses fail or whatever. So it's just putting that all behind us, just keeping that vision, putting the blinkers on like the Clydesdales, and just keep on going. So that's fantastic. Alrighty. So if you did have the chance to start over again, is there anything that you'd do differently now, knowing what you know now?
Yeah. Oh, look, probably a million things. Although I'm not really a looking backwards kind of person. I'm very much a looking forwards kind of person. And I kind of think that everything I've been through has been part of the learning process and has got me to the point that I'm at now. So if I had to do it again, look, I would probably be braver at times. I think I've been pretty brave and tried lots of different things, but maybe it's really only been in the last 18 months that I've started to evolve my business to be something that relies less on other people. So, obviously it relies on clients, that's important. But a lot of my work has been, because I've worked for organisations, has been subcontracted working for other organisations. And in the last 18 months, I've, since having my kids, who are now kind of just getting to school age, and we moved to a regional area, so it kind of forced me to do less face-to-face and client work in organisations, because I didn't want to have to keep travelling all the time. So I have now moved a lot of what I do online. So it's kind of a whole new business.
New realm.
And I don't know, if I could have done it sooner, maybe I would have, but then that wouldn't have happened, because it was at that point when I was having kids. And also the technology's just made a huge amount of difference, being able to now do so much online. I now run e-courses for women trying to find their groove, so going through that transition. So the same sort of thing that I've done, I suppose, of ready to go back to work and try something new after having kids, or just find where they belong next, or where they want to take their careers next. And it's the kind of stuff that I just couldn't have done 10 years ago, because the technology wasn't there. So
the kind of the main thing I'm getting from that's kind of attributing to your success is that you've almost changed structure from one to one to many, and you're a lot more leveraged now because you're taking it online.
Absolutely, and that's a work in progress. It's relatively early days. I started just with a blog and started cultivating an audience through a blog. Getting to know my audience, or my tribe, understanding what it was they needed, and then trying to kind of tie that back in with my experience as a coaching psychologist, and what I know about positive psychology and development and growth and strengths and these sorts of things. So it was really kind of identifying a need through meeting the audience, through writing the blog, and then trying to build things that help them.
Perfect. So a lot of obviously market research is gone into before you've started this to.
I have learnt so much in the
Yeah.
last 18 months, a massive amount about the whole online space, about blogging, about community, about the technology, about online marketing. It's been a massive learning curve, which has been fantastic for me. And I think what part of why I've thoroughly enjoyed it has been that love of learning is one of my strengths. So, I get energy from that whole learning process.
Perfect.
So, it's been great.
Great. And what would you say is sort of the top 3 skills needed in order to be sort of a successful entrepreneur?
Top 3 for me, I would say, and I don't know if they're skills or attributes or not called maybe mindset, I don't know, but working hard. You know, you just can't get away from working hard.
Yep.
Being somewhat strategic about your work, so having a goal in mind and kind of working out, thinking about how do I get to this goal, rather than, it's very easy, especially when you work for yourself, to just kind of respond to whatever work comes up. And I think I did that for a long time. You'd say, oh, look, can you do this? And I go, yeah, I think I can do this. But it became quite scattergun. And I think if you really want to be entrepreneurial, you need to have a bit more focus and a bit more vision and be a bit more structured in terms of how you get there. So working hard, having a strategy and a goal and a vision, and I think customer service. I think customer service is always going to win out in no matter what you do. You need to deliver what you say you will when you say you will. And I think particularly given the competitiveness of the online space, you probably need to go over and above that a little bit more. So they'd be my top 3.
Definitely. You mentioned before a little bit about a scattergun approach. Are you referring to obviously on the business tasks? So do you outsource a lot of your tasks, or do you prefer to do it yourself? Or what's your sort of thoughts around outsourcing?
Yeah, look, I've just started outsourcing and I love it. Obviously it costs money, but I see it as an investment. So I now have a VA who does a lot of my, social media and sort of administrative, but not kind of nuts and bolts type administrative, but she's now helping me to get my blog post, so I write the words, and she's now doing all of the kind of uploading and the images and all of that kind of stuff. She helps me with course workbooks and creating content. And that's been fantastic. I have a bookkeeper who does my bookkeeping for me, because I did it myself for a long time, but it's just not the best use of my time.
Consuming.
And what else? Just recently, who else have I just taken on? Someone else recently. Bookkeeper. I've got my VA and a copywriter.
Oh, perfect.
Which is funny, because I do all my own blog writing, and I've written a book in the past a million years ago. I consider myself reasonably proficient when it comes to writing, but I discovered that marketing writing's different. To just communicating.
Different language,
And I really I'm in the process of redeveloping my website, and I got to a point where I thought, I'm spending a lot of time on this and I don't really feel like I'm quite getting to what to be. So recently took on a copywriter, which is fantastic, because not only is she doing that component for me, but she asks me questions. It gets me thinking exactly about what my audience might be looking for, who the target market is, what my products are offering. She just takes it from a whole different slant, which has been great.
And I think, you brought up a really good point there, that it is really important to collaborate with other people, not only within our own target market, but another set of eyes that's sort of on the business, because sometimes it can be hard for us when we're in the business to sort of jump outside and actually have a look in and see what's going on and what can be improved, and have we thought about this, let's get rid of that, and kind of that kind of thing, which is really great. And you did mention about, not so much sort of juggling and doing lots of things at once, but sort of how has your journey of sort of becoming an entrepreneur affected your personal life and your family life?
Well, I did it. In fact, if I go way back to 14 years ago, or prior to 14 years ago, probably 20 years ago, so I'm showing my age, and I was in a corporate environment. I was in a management role, and I sat back one day, I think I was about 27, and I envisaged my life into the future. So, where did I think I was going to be in 5 years' time? And I wasn't quite sure in terms of work content or what exactly I'd be doing, or even where I'd been doing it, because I'd already moved interstate once and done a bit of work overseas. But I knew that having children was part of my plan. I knew that was what I wanted to do, and I really couldn't see, for me personally, how I was going to do that and maintain a corporate career. So right back then, even though it was probably maybe close to 10 years before I actually had kids, but right back then I kind of knew that I needed to do something different. So then I went back, got my psych qualifications, and kind of started investigating other avenues. So that was a really important part of shaping the decision to work for myself. And then again with the reshaping, or current reshaping, the last 18 months, and taking the work online, again it's been about responding and adapting to what my life and lifestyle requires. So for a while there I didn't do much at all. I kind of worked back seat because they're very little kids. Now that they're getting a bit bigger, I can reshape my business again. But I wanted to do it so that I wasn't travelling a lot, which is what my former work required of me, so that I could be at home and be able to fit in around, school and preschool and, the sports days and the swimming lessons and all the other things. So it's a big commitment because I find that I'm working, you have to be very disciplined, and I think that's something I have learned over the long period that I've been working for myself, is that there is a lot of discipline required to make sure that you do stop work at a certain time and don't let it flow over into 24 hours a day. And that, you're not kind of trying to juggle too many things at once, all at once. So I've learnt that, and now, I put in a lot of hours after the kids have gone to bed, as I think most people who have kids and are doing this kind of work do. But it's all been around having that flexibility so that I'm not having to, be gone 5 days a week. I'd rather work at night or work in between hours, or even get up early. Not that happens very often, but do it that way so that I can be there for the family for what they need.
And would you say that would have been one of sort of the driving factors, and one of sort of the things that you value being an entrepreneur, is that you do have that time flexibility to work in and around your own schedule and around your own circumstances, that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the key drivers for me. I think the other key driver for me, and this is the kind of work that I do with a lot of other women, is around identifying what your strengths are and what's important to you. So I know that I need variety in my work. I know that I don't respond very well to direction from other people. I'm very independent. I know that I don't necessarily work in teams very well. So again, that independency thing. I know that I like to be able to create. That's something that's really important to me, is to be able to kind of be coming up with new ideas, new content, new courses, create things. So and a lot of jobs that don't necessarily give you the option to do that all the time. So knowing who I am and what's important to me and what motivates and gives me energy and gives me that intrinsic motivation to keep doing it has been a big part of being able to build my business and build what I do around that. That's been fantastic too. So it's adaptability family-wise, but also adaptability so that my work fulfills my needs, but also services my clients.
Perfect. And just jumping back, you said something previously that I wanted to ask you a question around, was how do you find, because we are constantly juggling, I myself don't have children yet, but I know when we do, that'll be not a curveball, but it's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works to put it, to be realistic. It's going to take a lot of, be a big distraction. So basically, getting back to kind of how you structure your day and you structure your business, how do you sort of find, and what are sort of 3 tips that you could give women listening to really, when I say jet on in the business and then jet off, so you said you don't want to work 24 hours a day, and when we're at home it can be easy to do, but how do you find that structure between, I'm going to call this client and I'm just quickly going to put a load of washing on, and I've got to take the dog for a walk, and what's coming up for you there?
What does the day look like? Well, I suppose it's kind of evolved, and it does change. I mean, the thing about kids is that nothing ever stays the same. You start with these little infants, and then they're toddlers, and then they're preschoolers, and then they're at school. So you never really get a long period where everything stays the same. So you're constantly flexing and adapting according to what they need. So at the moment, I've got one in preschool and one at school. I really, once I get them off to their respective places, that I know I've got a set number of hours that are available to me to get something done. I try to allocate different tasks to different days a little bit according to how much time I've got. So if it's only a half day with one at preschool, they might be the days that I have meetings or do stuff face-to-face with people. If I've got longer days, they're my writing and really, concentrated focus days. If I'm seeing clients, I've got to fit that in as well. I'm lucky because my husband works from home, so that gives me a bit more flexibility, so that if I need to be gone, sometimes I'm in Melbourne, we live in Ballarat, it's an hour in the train. If I have to be in there first thing in the morning, I have to leave by 6:30 at home, so he can take over there. But I've also used babysitters and nannies to help with that as well.
Perfect.
So I think it's about really being, again, that discipline thing comes in, and knowing what you've got in front of you and being very focused. So I know when my kids were very little and I had them, say, a couple of hours sleeping in the middle of the day, there was no time to kind of procrastinate. It was like, well, I've got that 2 hours. I know exactly what. So beforehand, it was like, I know what I'm going to do. I've got my to-do lists. So that as soon as I've got them asleep, boom, I'm onto it for that available time. And, I just have to switch it back off when they need me, when they wake up. So, the discipline, structure, to-do lists.
So important, isn't it? And also scheduling in that me time as well. Like, as women, we're so busy being, the perfect mother and the perfect wife and the perfect everything, and, trying to juggle all these plates. It's important to whoa, let's take a breather, have a bath or whatever. So what are your sort of top 3 ways that you like to wind down and get some clarity? I do yoga. So I get in a yoga class at least once a week. That's really important to me. As I'm getting older, it's important for me physically as well as psychologically. I monitor, again, it's self-awareness, so I monitor my stress levels. I just take note of when I'm starting to get cranky, when I'm getting tired, when I'm getting frustrated, or I'm losing my patience more quickly with children. It's usually a sign that I've got something in my mind, or I'm stressed, or I'm feeling under pressure. So really being aware of that and taking time out. I shift and move my workplace around. So I will go and work in a cafe, I will work outside, I will work, because I work better that way, and I think it's good for me as well. Getting outside into nature, working, and I will just take time out. I will just get to a point where I say, I'll opportunities come up to go to conferences or something like that. I'd say, right, I'm going, I've got organized with my husband, obviously, but I just say, right, I need the time just to me and do my thing. So having some pretty clear rules around that too really helps. One thing that I've just started doing, but I haven't really had time to lately because I'm busy launching a new product, but is adult colouring in books. Like, how good are they? The only thing I'm worried about is sticking within the lines.
that whole mindfulness thing. Mindfulness is very important, very useful, and pretty simple too. So whether it's colouring in or actual meditation, or I like to garden. Gardening's good for me, just being outside. I'm teaching myself to crochet at the moment. I'm finding really good. It's the same kind of meditative, you're very, very focused on a simple task and you can't think too much about other things at the same time. So all those things are great.
You try and do a Sudoku puzzle and try and think about anything else.
Exactly.
Alrighty, so I know we don't really like to look at our failures, and I don't actually even like to call them failures, they're lessons or learnings, but what's sort of one thing that's coming up that you've really grown from, or something that's happened to you sort of over your journey that's kind of attributed to your success today?
So, yes, I'm a bit like you. I don't like to think of things as failures necessarily and learn from every experience. But for me, I think probably the things that have helped me in hindsight, or I've kind of learnt from over time, has been trusting my instincts around my values and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, particularly when it comes perhaps to collaborating with other people, or going down a certain business path, or even product development or marketing, and realising that it's hard work, I'm really struggling, it doesn't seem to be flowing or making progress, or if it's working with people that I just think I'm not sure we're really aligned here in terms of our values and what's important to us in terms of what we're trying to achieve. So trusting those things and knowing when to back out
Trusting your gut and your intuition.
Yeah,
you know, it's
very much so.
It's always the right way, isn't it? Okay, so who has been your greatest inspiration in business?
Look, I think I've had many inspirations for different reasons and at different points. I think probably going way back, my parents have been a great inspiration for me. My mother's been a very independent person always, and I've learned a lot from her. My dad's very successful in his career, and I probably learned a lot from him. I learned a lot about hard work from both of them. Then over times I've had, different mentors that I've learned from at different phases of my life. I think for me personally, anybody who has shown confidence and belief in me, anyone who's perhaps pushed me out of my comfort zone a bit because they believed I could, has been really helpful. Helped me to grow and develop, even if perhaps I resented them right at the time and they were making me do something I wasn't comfortable with. In hindsight, looking back, I've gone, you know what, they knew, they could see something perhaps that I couldn't see at the time, and they knew to push me that little bit harder and a little bit further, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. So then I've got a lot of, sort of inspirational people in terms of in areas of psychology, people who really know their stuff, who inspire me, and I suppose in the entrepreneurial space too, people who are really just willing to have a go, people who are willing to try something different, especially women, women who are willing to kind of put themselves out there and try something and have a go and do something that's a little outside of the mould. I find incredibly inspiring, and they're the kind of people I like to surround myself with, because we grow and learn and develop from exposure to each other and what we're doing.
100%. And when you do something and you step up and do that, you're giving them permission to do the same. But if you don't, you're giving them permission to not do the same either. So creating that movement and, a new way forward and a new vision and that kind of thing. So really cool. Alrighty. So any kind of films or books that you really love and would recommend people to read or watch that have kind of been game changers mentally?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or a couple, if you can't think of one.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I mean, the things that inspire me in terms of films and books and things tend to actually be kind of the psychology books and things that I've studied. So in these new areas of psychology, like positive psychology, even some films like A Beautiful Mind I loved, because a little bit of what I do is mental health advocacy. So A Beautiful Mind was a great film about mental health issues and about, what it is to have schizophrenia, and I found it really useful to me in terms of informing my knowledge, but also to be able to share that to people in a way that's not so complex. So they're the sorts of things that come to mind. But again, in terms of entrepreneurial or business type books, lots of stuff written by women. I'll know a lot more soon, because I'm actually starting an online book club with a colleague that's all around books written by female authors in the kind of women success entrepreneurial type space. So I'm just beginning that journey. So I'm going to read a lot more Lisa Messenger's stuff and those sorts of things in the coming weeks.
Fantastic. Alrighty, so I know we did talk a little bit about your business at the start, but can you just share a little bit about your vision and who you mainly help, and sort of a vision of where you and your business is headed in the next sort of 10 to 20 years?
10 to 20 years, goodness only knows where it will be in that long time frame, but in the shorter, so what it is at present, I write a blog, I run an online course. At the moment there's one, but it's growing, called Find Your Groove, which is for women who are at a transition point in their lives, who mostly are women who have perhaps had a professional career and have taken time out to have kids and are looking at what's next, going through that thing that I talked about right at the beginning that I went through of, how do I shape my career so that I still feel like I'm really contributing, so that I'm still passionate about what I do and that I'm still being stimulated by what I do, but to do it in a way that really fits with me personally and my lifestyle and the life that I'm trying to create. So Find Your Groove does that, and it's built on the principles of positive psychology and coaching, so it's got a scientific base to it. And the other part of the online business is doing online assessments and questionnaires, so reputable, good quality psychological questionnaires, personality type questionnaires, strengths, career stuff.
Yep.
And being able to do that online, because it's not been something traditionally that you've been able to go to one place and do a whole raft of different types of questionnaires, and then have the backup coaching. So I'll do coaching and support in the background to that, so that people can, get their profile and then learn more about themselves. I've just got a little visitor here who's come to say hi. I'm used to talking. So that's what it is at present in terms of growth and where to from here. Look, my plan is to build more of an online academy, so that there'll be a whole raft of different sorts of coaching and other psychological and development type questionnaires and courses that people can do. So I've got a couple of colleagues that I'm talking about, maybe doing somebody mindfulness, careers stuff. I'll do the online coaching, self-awareness and growth and development. So that's kind of probably going to keep me busy, I reckon, over the next 5 years or so. And then after that, I don't know, because things shift and grow and change. And
anything can happen.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And how can we get in touch with you?
Okay, a little person just looking up there. So my website is potential.com.au, so www.potential.com.au. The business name is Potential Psychology. I am on Facebook under Potential Psychology blog. That's my blog Facebook page. I'm on Instagram under, I think it's just Potential Psychology. Twitter on Potential Psych, I think. If you Google Potential Psychology, you'll find me one way or another. And obviously Ellen Jackson as well. Yeah, Google me, I'm there.
Perfect. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Is there any sort of parting words or a favourite quote or anything that you'd like to share with the ladies today?
My big thing, especially at the moment, is about knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your strengths, your values, knowing your goals, getting real clarity around that, because it makes such a difference to the decisions you make. It makes decisions easier. It makes such a difference to your motivation. If you're really clear on who you are and what you want and what you're good at, what gives you energy, then it gives a lot to focus and determination and motivation to get to where you want to be. So, do self-reflection and a bit of self-discovery, I think, goes a long way to success.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much for being a guest on this blog, and I'm looking forward to following you and your success in the future, and have a great day.
Okay, great. Thanks, Danielle. It's been lovely to be here.